I am first off so excited that you are here and that you are watching this video because that means that somewhere inside of you are interested in learning more about coaching and what that all entails. So thank you so much for just being here and watching this video and learning a little bit more about it. So to start, I want to share a little bit about me so you can get to know me a little bit better. So if you didn't know, my name is Kate and I am almost 29. I am a wife to my husband Derek. We have been married for almost 4 years now, and we have a little guy named Easton who is almost 14 months. The beginning of March he will be. And my husband and I so we've been married for almost 4 years. We've been together for almost 9. This year will be 9 years. We live about a half an hour outside of Seattle. So we live in this really small little town called Stanwood, kind of more on the countryside of things, which we absolutely love. We don't live too far from where we grew up either, so we're pretty close to family, which is super nice. But I am also a part-time high school teacher. I teach family and consumer sciences, which is just like the new name for home ec. So I teach cooking and sewing and interior design, that kind of stuff. And then I am also, just recently, about 4 months ago, became a lifestyle coach, is what I like to call it, health and fitness / lifestyle, because it's really about changing your life overall. So, to tell you a little bit about how I got started, I kind of have to talk about my pregnancy and kind of what I went through. So, after my husband and I got married, we knew that we wanted to try having a baby pretty quickly. And so we started trying, and we started to realize that it was going to be a little bit more of a struggle than anything. So we had tried for over a year and a half and realized, this isn't going to be easy for us. And so that was a really, really hard time because I had always dreamt about being a mom. And so we ended up both having some issues that we had to get some help with. So we struggled with infertility type stuff, which was really, really hard. So anybody out there that's gone through that, my heart goes out to you because it's not an easy thing. So for a long time I didn't think that it was going to be a possibility for us to have a baby. By the grace of God though, we ended up getting pregnant, and we had a pretty smooth pregnancy. I struggled with a little bit of high blood pressure and some anxious feelings throughout the way, but overall it was pretty good. And then we ended up having my son a couple weeks early, and right when he was born, he was born a couple weeks early because I was induced. Well, he ended up getting stuck on his way out, which TMI I know, but he got stuck for about 90 seconds and really struggled when he came out with low blood sugar and just being overly exhausted and hurt because of the struggle with the delivery. So that kind of set the tone right after I had him, and I began struggling really, really bad with anxiety. And I didn't realize how bad it was until now that I'm out of it, looking back. But for the first 4 months of his life, I couldn't do much of anything except sit and stare at him and make sure that he was okay. And thinking about it now, I think that I really was just really fearful because I thought for so long that I wasn't going to be able to have a baby. So then once I ended up having him, I was so afraid something was going to happen to him and I wasn't going to have him, if that makes any sense. So really struggled with anxiety, some depression, completely stopped taking care of myself in terms of my health, my fitness. I kind of just let myself go. And then summertime came around and I realized oh my gosh, I need to get out of this rut that I'm in, but I didn't really know how. And I had never really been good about, fully taking care of myself. I kind of did here and there, but nothing, to the extent of what I should have been doing. And so one thing that I had done was I just wanted to meet other moms who were going through the same thing as I was, but I felt like I didn't really have anybody that was. And so one of my girlfriends had told me she had made an Instagram and was meeting moms and other women within kind of that community. And I was like, okay, well, I could give that a try, but I was kind of skeptical because I was never knew into social media or anything and kind of always just looked at it as more of a negative thing. But I was like, I'll give it a go. So I created a fully new Instagram than I had before with no one that I really knew from home. Started connecting with some moms, and then that's when I found my coach. who I started following, and I started just watching her journey, and I was like so captivated by it. I was like, oh my gosh, she was a mom to like a 2-year-old, she was pregnant, she was doing like fully healthy pregnancy, working out all the way up until like literally delivery, and I was like, oh my gosh, like that's so awesome. But I was like, I could never do that. Like, of course, I like went back to myself and I was like, no way. And then I just continued to watch her because I was just like so captivated. And I kept talking to my husband. I'm like, this girl, she's so amazing to me and whatnot. Well, she ended up reaching out to me and she asked if I wanted to join an accountability group. And I was like, I had no idea what that was or anything, but at that point in my life, I was about 10 months postpartum. I was the biggest that I had ever been in my life, out of shape. Like I said, I wasn't taking care of myself. So I was like, you know what? I'll give it a go. And so I ended up joining in November. I waited a month, kind of researched it a little bit, saved up money because I wasn't really in a financial place to do it right off the bat. And then I joined, and within a week of joining, my whole mind shifted. I had met women who were in the same season of life as me, who were trying to better themselves just as I was. And instead of feeling judged or feeling like I was alone, I started to feel like I was connected to something. And I like absolutely fell in love with it. And on top of that, I started to build a really strong connection with my coach, and she would reach out to me and see how I was doing. She really like helped teach me balance and moderation, because for so long I've always been really hard on myself, and I thought like, oh, if I'm trying to lose weight, then I can't eat anything bad, and if I do, then I just fall off the wagon completely. And I remember one night I texted her at like 10 o'clock at night. My husband took me out and we were staying at a hotel, and he wanted to order like a dessert for room service, and I was like, I can't eat that, like I'm gonna fall off the wagon. So I literally texted her and I was like, what do I do? And she was like, hey, like give yourself some grace. Like she just was there. She was just somebody that I could count on, that like I didn't feel judged by, and I didn't feel like she was gonna like talk behind my back, like what is this girl doing? Like she just felt so genuine to me and like a good solid friend. And I needed that at that point in my life. I needed that so badly. And so the month went on, I continued to do the group. I saw massive physical results in myself, like nothing I'd ever seen. And I was like the biggest skeptic of at-home workouts. I was like, there's no way, but whatever, I'll try it. Anyways, so by the end of the month, I kept like having these thoughts come to the front of my mind where I was like, I want to do what she does. Like, how awesome is that? Look what she's done for me. Like, if I could help somebody like that, that'd be so cool. And so I like talked to my husband about it. He was like, this is like a pyramid scheme, multi-level marketing. Like, what is this? Like, he was so like not about it. So we like did a lot of research. My coach sat down and did a one-on-one call with me and just like talked me through everything and just like, you know, shared with me her success. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want this so bad. On top of all of that, my biggest goal since I was a child was to be a stay-at-home mom, and I haven't just had that opportunity yet. Like, it's just not been something that would be able to happen for my family. And so when she started telling me that she was a teacher herself, she started surpassing her income that she was making as a teacher, I was like, oh my god, like this could bring me home from my job. Like, are you serious? And so I decided to give it a go, even though I was terrified. I had no idea what I was doing. Like I said before, social media was never my thing. Like marketing, like I'm a teacher, like really. Anyways, so I dove all in. I've now been coaching for almost 4 months, and it has literally been the best thing that has ever happened to me, which sounds so crazy. Because I never would have thought, if you would have asked me this a year ago, I would have like laughed and then cried, because I'd been like, I could never do that. Anyways, so the amount of success, not just income wise, but the amount of emotion and feeling that I am getting from helping other women is what keeps me going in this, because I have been in such a rough spot, and I have felt alone, and I have felt like there wasn't any hope for me, and I have felt like I had no self-confidence. And seeing the spark in other women and seeing that they're gaining success in this is what keeps the fire inside of me and keeps me wanting to like push forward. And then knowing that if I continue to work hard, I could seriously come home from my job is the other thing that like literally feeds my soul. So There's a lot to coaching, but the good news is that there are so many resources out there to help and so many things that you can do along the way to, you know, become successful in this. And all you have to do is be willing to put yourself out there and grow and all of that. So if after watching this you have more questions and you are interested in anything else and you want to do a one-on-one call with me, or you want to just sit and just ask me random things, I am 150% open to that. I would love to work with you. I would love to just share more about what I've done and all of that, because this is such a passion for me now and something that I absolutely am in love with. So like I said, let me know. There will be a form that you can fill out after watching this if you want more information. It doesn't mean that you're signing up or that you're taking the leap. It just means that you want to talk a little bit more and learn more. So let me know, but remember that the only way that you can grow is by going out of your comfort zone. And as hard as it is, because I've been there and I'm still there, like, it's not easy, but the growth that you see in yourself and the fire inside of you when you find something that you're passionate about with helping other people is beyond worth it. So take a leap with yourself if you feel like you really want something more, and just know that, like, you have so much ahead of you if you are willing to really, like, put yourself out there. So thanks again for watching. Reach out to me more if you want to talk. Otherwise, I totally understand if this isn't the right time. But I am here and I am a resource for you, so use it up. All right, have a wonderful rest of your day.